Hello my friends and welcome back to the shop. Today we are talking about the Smith & Wesson 929. I think, the greatest competition handgun ever made. We're going to talk about some of its features today. We're also going to go over a little bit of my setup. I've got one of these. Not sure you guys know exactly what that is. And then we're going to, I've got a whole pile of these too. And we're going to talk about how this thing is so quick and how it's loaded, because it's pretty interesting. Let's get down on the bench and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here we are down on the bench. This is the Smith & Wesson 929, the JM Jerry Mitchell 929. We got quite a few miles on this. This wheel gun. We are holding 8 rounds of 9mm, and how we do that is all right here. Now these are snap caps. These are inert. These are dead, long dead. What we've got is some 125 grain lead on top of some old brass that I had, and something called a moon clip. Now what's cool about this is that these are all affixed in a package. So here we've got 8 rounds of 9mm that are all completely affixed inside of one package. So when they go into the gun, they all go into the gun all at once, and then they come out of the gun all at once. So that makes reloading on the go really cool. And we're actually reloading. I'll get to this in a second, but we're reloading off of a belt here, which makes it really, really, really quick. So on this 929, like I said, we got 8 rounds of 9mm. We've got a Burst Fast Fire 3 on top. We've got a very nice Hogue grip here, and a Hogue cylinder release, along with a Apex Evo hammer setup that's hand fit. Along a trigger stop, we've got a compensator on the front. This is also removable. We can pull this thing off of here if we're running. Now, a bunch of people are like, "What, Uncle Hangfire? What's the deal with that? Why are we going to be pulling this thing off?" The whole deal is that not every single class that you run this revolver is going to treat this the same way. So depending on if you're just plinking in your backyard, who cares? But if you're running in a particular class of USPSA or a particular class of I-Corps, you may or may not be able to run a port on the front of it. So it's just something to keep in mind. And what Smith & Wesson has done here is they've made this so that this is a removable feature, which is really cool. And inside the box, you've got a cap. And what we can do is we can remove this. The gun will shoot just fine without this thing on here, or we can put a cap on and go from there. It's really a pretty cool thing. Titanium cylinder. A bunch of people will say, I can hear you screaming through YouTube right now. What's the deal with this? Why do we got to make this thing out of unobtainium? Well, it's not unobtainium, it's titanium. And the deal is that when we've got this thing and we're running it really quick, what we're able to do is keep the rotating mass to a minimum. So the thing is that if we could, it'd be very inexpensive to make this cylinder out of steel, and we could reproduce this cylinder out of steel no problem. The issue is that steel weighs a lot. With this nice titanium cylinder on here, what we're able to do is take out this rotating mass. So the gun, when you pull this trigger and run it quickly and index to the next cylinder, the gun, and I'm going to get this in an angle so that you can see it, is not trying to do this every time you pull the trigger. Instead, you're not feeling it do that. The only thing that's in there really is just the weight of the ammo. So now we got some of that stuff out of the way. What I want to talk to you guys about, and I get this question a lot, is what the heck is this thing, and why do you have one? What does it do? Well, I can tell you right now, this thing right here saves lives, because it takes out so much work, and it's so well made, so well machined. These guys, this is called a BMT Mooner, and what it does is if we have a bunch of spent brass, we can put it inside of this thing. We can use the pawl on the back side of this, and there's an indexing groove. There's an indexing groove here. Let me see if I can bring it down really quick. We'll make it fast. With the index, what we can do is we can open this thing out. We can open this up. We got all eight rounds, and if we want to go and reload it, here's the top. This is our moon clip, all ready to go, all ready to be reloaded. All we have to do is put in 8 new rounds. And it'll just take forever and a day to do it on camera. Put in our 8 rounds of ammunition, put our BMT Mooner together, tip this forward, and now what I can do is I can turn this together, and like magic, I have got a loaded moon clip. So what's cool about this is that there's a bunch of different loaders out there, and there's a bunch of ways to do this that aren't this expensive. However, there's no way to load quite that much brass in that short a time. And let me tell you, when I say that it's a lot of brass, it really is a lot of brass, because this is I load up this whole packet of moons, right, before we go and we make our runs, and we'll probably do this 2 or 3 times depending on the shoot, depending on the day, depending on how many stages we're running. So this is really an invaluable tool when you've got to do this all day. This is just I featured this on the channel before. I thought about making some of them. I'll zoom in really quick and I'll show you. There's a little top hat here, a couple of rare earth magnets, so this thing just sticks together, and then this just holds all of my moon clips, so that way they're all kind of affixed all in one thing. This stores really easy. I can slip this down in my pocket or put it in my range bag and be fairly confident this thing's not going to come apart. It's a nice little piece of kit. I made it. It works. So getting back to what we were talking about before. So now, okay, we got a couple of these things, right? Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this belt, right? So here we got our belt. We've got some more magnets on top, and then this gets loaded up with all these moons. So we'll be doing moons all the way across the face of this thing. And of course, our revolver. The revolver's not complete without a drop leg holster. If I can ever get it in there, the revolver is not complete without a drop leg holster. And this is a setup from a company called Speed Bees. These guys sell some really incredible gear, but we've got a CR Speed belt, and then we've got a Speed Bees moon clip holder, and a Speed Bees end frame 6.5 inch race race Kydex there, race holster for it. But yeah, it's a pretty cool piece of kit. 6.5 inch bore, 9mm, regular 9x19, 9mm. Like I said, we kind of went over what was installed on this thing. Not really a whole lot past factory. These things come pretty much ready to rock and roll right out of the gate. This is I think this is a Raptor. I don't even think the company is around anymore, but this is a Raptor mount. I like this one because we get rid of the pick rail. A lot of these you'll see have a Picatinny rail up top. To me, that's good, not great, because it really raises the height of the optic pretty far off the gun. But yeah, I really wanted to feature what was going on with this BMT Mooner. I think this thing is pretty slick. So that's my take on the world's greatest race gun, the greatest competition gun of all time. I think this thing is super cool. If you think this thing is cool too, drop a like, leave a comment. Even a little fire emoji helps the channel out a great deal. If you think that the BMT Mooner was cool and worth its weight in gold, you go ahead and drop a like or subscribe. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you liked the video, and I will catch you in the next one.